Hi, everyone. How are we doing today? Feeling good? Typical. All right, well, I'm excited to come talk to you guys today, talking about a big passion in my life, besides my cute golden retriever puppy. SEO for e-commerce. I actually stumbled into SEO for e-commerce, working with a B2B merchant back in the day, back in 2013. They've been doing SEO for a long time, selling products online, a B2B merchant, and they had a problem. Their revenue decreased significantly because they got hit with the Google Penguin penalty, if you know what that is. And yeah, fun stuff. So their traffic, ranking, keywords, all negative. Bad things are happening, their business was in distress, and we're able to come in, help work with them, use the right SEO best practices, utilize some good content marketing, and their revenue went up significantly from that, about $80,000 a month per month. And that's kind of when I realized that, and I got really hooked on SEO for e-commerce because I could see that my work was creating tangible results for this business. And that's why I really just started to focus on SEO for e-commerce. And ironically, the first brand I worked with was B2B. So I'm really excited to come talk to you guys today about something very passionate I'm about, and just kind of share with you tips, tricks, and things I've learned throughout my career in SEO. Since then, I merged with a company called Visitor. We're an e-commerce marketing agency. I'm the CMO partner there. Spoken at a bunch of conferences about SEO and content marketing. Fourth time at Imagine. Thanks for having me back. And write for a bunch of publications too about SEO. And if you don't know what Visitor is, we're an e-commerce marketing agency, about 90 team members. Work with 130 merchants selling products online, and many on the Magento platform, and a lot B2B and B2C instances as well. So before I begin, just want to get a good feel. Who is pretty advanced when it comes to SEO content marketing? Please raise your hand. Okay, who's pretty basic? Just knows the basic things, the abbreviations, SEMrush, Ahrefs. Who knows nothing about SEO or content marketing? Only one person? Cool. Perfect. This will be good then. Great. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about first why it's important that we should care about SEO and content marketing. And then I'm going to go into how to build a content marketing and SEO system. And then I'm going to talk about the fun stuff, which is how to create really good content to get best SEO results. So starting off, SEO and search engines and search engine optimization is very important for B2B merchants. 89% of B2B researchers use the internet to gather information about products and services. 90% of them use search engines. So a lot of people are searching for your products, your solutions, etc. And SEO and content marketing work really, really well together because the average length of content appears in Google's first page is about 1,800 words. So creating really good content that's long, informed, depth content ranks for a lot of keyword phrases. And 71% of B2B researchers start with generic search terms. So you don't really know what they're looking for. They're looking to find information and looking to understand more before they're going into a purchase pattern. So SEO and content marketing can really help reach that target audience that's in the top of the funnel research stage when they're trying to find what they're looking for. And on the flip side, content marketing can be really impacted by good SEO. There's a study done by Neil Patel that analyzed a bunch of publishers' results in their blog content, and search is the predominant way that they're able to receive traffic. Almost 47, or maybe it's 50% of traffic coming from search engines. So content marketing can be really amplified by search and really get your content out there to be seen by a lot of people. And finally, I've audited maybe like 150 B2B e-commerce sites. I'd say anywhere from 8 to 60% of traffic comes from organic search engines. The 8% is going to be like the really big players like your Grangers of the world, where they do a lot of other marketing initiatives to get other traffic. And the 60%, are going to be smaller B2B merchants that just really focus on more organic. So really, SEO and content marketing are very harmonious now and really important to do together to get results for each other. And there's actually a presentation I did a couple of months ago. I didn't include that slide, but we're seeing even more SEO jobs require content marketing skills than any other year before, and we're seeing more content marketing skills required for SEO ever before. So really, they're becoming really intertwined together. So now that we know that, it's important. How do you drive search engine traffic? First is you need to be able to rank in Google's search algorithm. And I could talk all day about this, but the best way I could summarize it is there's kind of three main buckets of factors and ways that I think about it. First is the rank brain factor, and that's this like user signals down here. Basically, if someone searches Gaylord boxes, they come to your site, they leave right away, Google's going to think, we didn't do our job, we didn't give them the right content for that searcher. So therefore, we'll probably get a downvote for that. If no one clicks on your listing or organic search, so if someone searches Gaylord boxes, they don't click on your listing, Google will think that it didn't do its job either. So how people interact with your search results, how people interact with your content is the way I look at it from this rank brain or usability, user signals, basically bucket of factors. Sorry, I clicked the wrong button. Second is content. This is pretty basic. These are the things that Google's been using to rank search results since 1997, 98, et cetera. These are things like having the keywords in your body, content, description, title, H1 tag, et cetera. And still very important, we need to have really good in-depth content that satisfy the searcher intent. So it's still important that we focus on the content factor. And finally, backlinks. One that not a lot of e-commerce merchants talk about because it's really hard to attract and create high-quality backlinks because we just have product content and category content. It's very unlikely someone's going to link to us when we just sell products online, right? But creating really good content, we can drive high-quality backlinks. If you don't know what a backlink is, basically, let's rewind the GIF. This is a really good article. Inside it has a little hyperlink in here. I click on the hyperlink, and I go to a B2B e-commerce site's category page. So Google's going to crawl that, see that a really relevant site, link to a page on a B2B Magento site, and they're going to basically have a much higher trust and authority for that page, so that page can rank higher in Google. So content marketing solves a lot of these pain points. It helps solve the research query intent keyword phrase, which is fancy for when people are searching for information. So in this example, let me rewind. I'm searching chemical IBC tote sizes, or chemical tote sizes. I go to a blog, popular IBC tote dimensions, and they're able to capture that traffic when people are searching for information. It's able to drive high-quality backlinks because people are going to be much more likely to link to that blog and that on-site content than just product content or category content. So it helps drive high-quality backlinks. It also can interlink to other pages to drive authority to those pages, like our totes, IBC totes category pages. So that page will hopefully rank higher in Google. And really, all that helps create higher authority in Google. You get more high-quality backlinks, Google trusts your site more, and the more content, the more category pages you put on your site, the more chance that those have to rank higher in Google. So what types of content should we create? That's a lot. We're really just going to focus on two today. These are my two most effective ones that I think and see provide the most impact and bang for your buck. Is on-site content, which a lot of people call blog content. Basically, we're going to create content for our site. It's going to rank for keyword phrases Google, such as like popular IBC tote dimensions. And it's going to drive traffic to our site. The second is off-site content. We're going to write content for other people's sites, publisher sites, build thought leadership, and build credibility, and going to drive high-quality backlinks. And a lot of people call these things like guest posting, editorial articles, but the premise is we write content for other people's sites to build our brand. So how do you do this? The first is you need to start creating a content marketing program, and the process is the documentation. And first it starts with an SEO foundation. If Google can't crawl your site, then your content's not going to rank high in Google. So you need to have that solid SEO foundation. The Joomla Shop did a really good presentation on this, so basically do everything that they said. And there's also a lot of information online about how to do SEO foundational work. I spoke here in 2015, and that presentation was really relevant to this slide. But really, to summarize the SEO foundational work, basically every page you want to rank in Google needs to have really unique keyword research. You need to understand what those pages want to target, so Google knows what that page should be ranking for. You should have optimized title tag, description, URL, H1 tag based on that keyword research. You should have good on-site content. If it's a category page, you just stuffed a little blurb of content that no one would want to read, then it's not going to count for anything. You want to create good content that people want to read. And finally, good SEO technical work. Structured data on product pages, having those views firing are important, and then site speed. Site speed isn't just an SEO metric, it's a good user experience. Faster site, more conversions, Google's going to like your site more, users going to like your site more, you get higher search engine rankings. And you want to make sure that you're targeting keyword phrases using your nav bar. This is a good example of a B2B merchant that does a really good job of understanding what are people searching for and matching their categories to what people are searching for. And they have a lot of them, so they're able to target a big, wide net of keyword phrases because their homepage, and homepages for almost every website, gets about 80% of the links. And then those links link to everything on the nav bar. And so that authority funnels down to the nav bar and helps them rank for a lot of different keyword phrases. Another good example of this is a B2B merchant that sells commercial circuit breakers, enclosures, and more. And they realized a lot of people are searching for their NEMA categories. Their NEMA 1, the NEMA 12, NEMA 13. So they created different category pages like here, the NEMA for enclosures and boxes, which can target these different keyword phrases. So it starts off understanding what are people searching for and creating category pages to match that searcher intent. And this is going to help drive the commercial keyword phrases, people searching to buy products, and paramount for success in SEO. So once we have that SEO foundation, great category pages, link our nav bar, we want to develop the content strategy. It starts off understanding what content we should create on a monthly basis. I just put an example down here, 5 on-site articles, 5 off-site, but you can do different combinations. You can do, want to get fancy with it, you can do infographics, white papers, more content, podcasts, but just starting off simple is always best if you're just starting with content marketing. And some companies can just use on-site content, but you basically want to just develop what you're going to write on a monthly basis. You want to develop a content schedule and calendar. You could get super fancy and get a cool tool that allows you to manage this content schedule. I use Excel, to be honest with you. And just really understand what we're going to write on a monthly basis and plan out accordingly. And then once you do that, you want to develop a target audience persona. And this is where we want to define who our target audience is so we can write content for them. So we talked about this B2B merchant. If you notice over here, it's really small, but it says wholesale restaurant parts. They sell to restaurants. They sell their equipment, commercial kitchen equipment, to restaurants. So I just made this up. This would be basically their target audience and persona. You know, age 52, owns a chain of 6 restaurants, so their target audience owns anywhere from 1 to probably 12 restaurants. And he's constantly finding out ways to better his restaurant online. So he's reading publications, he buys products online from places like Webstron and other competitors, and these are some sample publication he reads content from. Food quality safety, Total Food Service, Chef Resources. This helps us get a really good understanding of who we want to write content for, who are we trying to attract. And then from here, we create a content guideline. The content guideline allows everyone on your team to be all on the same page when it comes to content. What to write, what not to write, where to find sources, who's the target audience, interlinks, what pages we should interlink with what keyword phrases. And then any pitfalls, you know, if you have regulations, you know, a lot of people in logistics and shipping have a lot of problems with regulatory practices, so they have to make sure that they don't, you know, write that in their content. And finally, don't do the fallacy that everyone likes to do when they just want to write content for themselves. You're one person, you don't buy your products, don't write content that you just want to read. Write content your target audience wants to read, and we'll talk about that more when we talk about offsite content. So once you have that, you have the process, the documentation, now it's time to create the content marketing team. And so this is kind of the formula I have to be successful with content marketing. So we need someone to manage the project, need someone to strategize to figure out what content we should create, what topics, keyword phrases, proofread, QA, editing. We need someone to write the content. And when you're writing content, you should spend at least the same amount of time writing the content as researching. You need someone to design the content as well, include good design elements. I can't remember last time I ever read a blog that was 1,500 words long that didn't have any images in it. It'd be really boring, and design really helps get user engagement up. And finally, promotion. You need someone to promote the content, to get high-quality backlinks, to promote and get content published on external sites. And so there's 4 types of roles I've seen people use to satisfy this kind of formula. The first is the content strategist. They're in charge of project management, strategy, QA, editing, proofreading, et cetera. They recruit writers, promoters, you know, make sure the designer is able to design the elements, et cetera. A lot of people do this for internal team members, like marketing managers take this on, director of e-commerces, sometimes VP of marketing, sometimes business owners, and if you're either Superman or you might need to delegate that to a writer. And I've seen some people utilize like head writers for the project management strategy as well. Writing. We need a writer to be able to write the content. And when I say write the content, I don't just mean just start writing and that's it, like ghostwriting. You need to spend a lot of time researching content, understanding the industry, understanding the product offering, et cetera. And to create the best content, you need at least probably half the time on research as you do writing the content. And design. Like I said, if you just write 1,500, 1,800 word blogs, and there's no imagery in there, there's no design elements, it's probably going to do pretty poorly in search. Having design elements can really make positive usability signals. People read the article longer, and so design is very important. We'll talk more about that. And usually I see a lot of people using freelancers for this kind of role, creating these design elements in content. And finally, the promoter. They promote the content on your newsletter, your social channels. They're trying to get high-quality backlinks, and they build relations with publications to get high-quality articles published. And a lot of times I see this role as like a link builder. People call them link builders, SEO specialists, that will do other tactics like brand mentions, link roundups, broken backlink building, et cetera. But really their goal is to promote content to external sites, get that content featured, et cetera. There's a couple hybrids you can do to satisfy this. I've seen like people have the writer kind of just do the whole gambit, or just do the first three, and then the promoter does designing the promotion, or the internal marketing manager does project management strategy and promotion. But you basically want to accomplish that formula using a wide variety of people. And the bigger the content marketing production, the more people you'll need to satisfy it. And one big fallacy I see a lot of people do when it comes to content marketing is they basically project manage, they do the strategy, and then they write the content and publish it. But unless you're like Granger, where you have an insane authority that you can just publish content and ranks #1 on Google pretty much automatically, you're going to want to do promotion. You're going to want to have high-quality backlinks. You're going to want to have great design elements to really rank high in Google, especially in very competitive landscapes. So once we get the team, now let's get to the fun stuff. How do you actually execute these different tactics? I'm going to talk about on-site first, then I'm going to talk about off-site after that. So first, on-site, this is just an example of what on-site content is. I search Gaylord boxes. I skip ads because no one likes ads. I go to the first result, was a Gaylord box. It ranks #1 for the keyword phrase Gaylord boxes and more, has some social media shares. It's a good piece of content that satisfies a searcher intent. It's clear, concise, it's well-researched, well thought out, and it helps satisfy a searcher intent and has good usability signals, and therefore it ranks #1 in Google. So that's what we want to do. We want to create really good content, real people want to read, that's going to drive traffic and hopefully convert them into a customer. And we start off doing that by doing keyword research. And what I call content hubs, this has a lot of different buzzwords for it, like topic clustering, but it's really the same premise we've been doing forever. You basically want to create different topic groupings of keyword phrases and topics you want to write about. So in this B2B merchant, warehouse is really important, green, manufacturing, freight cargo, package, shipping, delivery, food related. So they're able to target a lot of different topic clusters or content hubs for what people are searching and what their target audience is interested in. And then each one of these topics has keyword research associated with it. So they're basically targeting this huge spider web of what people are searching and capturing a lot of that traffic and ultimately sales. And so once you do that, you basically map out all the content, the topics you're going to produce. You want to produce that content, and you want to also do keyword research for it. And I know keyword research is pretty basic. There's so many guides online to do it, and you can just Google how to do keyword research. But one more advanced keyword research strategy you can do that I don't see a lot of people doing is using SEMrush to figure out what we rank for in basically like page 2 to 10 in Google, and then going and seeing what kind of keyword phrases we're ranking for that we might basically be like page 9, but not like page 1 good enough, right? So let's say we rank on page 9 for the keyword phrase, what are Gaylord boxes? And it's a category page. Therefore, Google's saying, we're page 9 good, but we're not page 1 good. It'd make a lot more sense to create an individual landing page or on-site content for that phrase, what is a Gaylord box? So we're able to satisfy that searcher intent better, and Google's able to place us in the search results higher because of that. So using what you rank for in Google is a really strong strategy to do keyword research. And once you create that content, you can also rank for a lot of different keyword phrases. A big fallacy I see people think of is they think, I'm going to create one blog, it's going to rank for one keyword phrase. It's not true. That one blog I just shared with you ranks for Gaylord boxes and Gaylord box #1. Gets about 4,000 searches a month, which is really good. But it also ranks for what is a Gaylord container, a Gaylord pallet, what is a Gaylord box, Gaylord shipping, and other keyword phrases. And that has a lot of search volume and then has a high CPC. So people are paying for that keyword phrase in Google and paying a lot in AdWords. It's able to drive a lot of significant value for that company too. Ranks in total for almost 370 keyword phrases, drives the traffic, estimated traffic from SEMrush is about 5,000 visitors per month. If you paid for that in AdWords, SEMrush estimates it would cost $21,000 per month for that traffic. So it's a really significant blog post or on-site article that's able to drive a significant amount of value. You can see it's been driving it for a really long time now, and it's probably going to continue driving it for the foreseeable future. And just some other things to note too. I know position 0 is a big topic right now in the SEO world. the really key, the secret sauce to be able to win position 0 is have really the best content. Well-researched, well thought out, and I'm about to talk about that in just a second, about how to create the best content. But if you guys are interested in how to win position 0, it's just really create the best content possible. There's not really some secret sauce. It's just really creating the best content. So how do you do that? First, you really need to understand what are people searching for. Are they searching for a lot of information? Are they searching for just quick information, like what is a Gaylord box, which is a pretty simple subject matter? This is a much more complex topic. This is about how to clean a commercial kitchen and how to maintain a commercial kitchen. There's a lot of content that goes into that. So this merchant spent a lot of time researching what's the best way to clean a commercial kitchen, what are the best ways to maintain it, and did a lot of research and incorporate a lot of great design elements in here as well with a graphic designer. And what's actually pretty cool about a lot of these, it has their brand name on it, and you can actually share it on social media. It has good interlinks in there like commercial refrigeration parts. This is what I would deem a really good piece of content that's high quality content, and it ranks really high on Google because of that. So to create the best content possible, spend more time on research. At the very least, half your time should be spent on writing as doing research. Create really good content, create really good design elements, and really understand the searcher intent. Are they searching for simple information? If they're searching for what is a Gaylord box, you don't want a 3,000 word long blog because that's just way too much information about a simple subject matter, okay? And if you continue doing this, good things will happen. You can see here, this is that original B2B merchant that wrote that really good blog. And you can see that they started content marketing back here in 2016. They weren't getting a whole lot of traffic, right? But they're able to start creating content on a monthly basis and continue building and building and building and building. And that's what successful content marketing and SEO really looks like. They're able to drive now almost 115,000 visitors per month from organic search. Traffic estimated cost in their traffic rank is about 331,000. Being a B2B merchant selling shipping materials online, that's really impressive. And it's because they're patient, they create the best content possible, and they kept doing it, and they're consistent with it. And it worked out really well for them. So now, executing offsite content. So like I said, being a B2B merchant and being in e-commerce in general, if you have product content and category content, it's hard to drive high quality backlinks because we just sell products online. So creating really good content, publishing it on external sites that real people read, like Industry Today, in this example, can be really impactful to drive high quality backlinks. And so it comes back up here, you'll see there's hyperlink, hot melt adhesives, and it goes to a B2B merchant's site's homepage. So creating these offsite content can drive high quality backlinks to your product pages, your category pages, your homepage, your on-site content, and really build the authority of your site to rank higher in Google. And when I mean what is a high quality backlink, I mean basically Google's going to view that as a higher quality and it's going to be more impactful. This is a tool I like to use, which is Ahrefs. It's the URL rating distribution. Generally, about 99% of your backlinks is going to fall below a 20 score, and these just come to you naturally. It's just weird. I can't really explain why. You just get a lot of low-quality backlinks. But if you're able to drive these high-quality backlinks in this area, you're going to have a much higher chance to rank in Google for your keyword phrases, and then you're going to drive more of the low-quality backlinks, and really, you're going to grow your business. And so the way that you drive these high-quality backlinks is by focusing on these kind of key tips right here. First, it needs to be relevant to you. If you get a link on BuzzFeed about cute golden retriever puppies, I have puppies stuck in my head because they have puppies out there, it's not going to help you if you sell Gaylord boxes, right? So it needs to be very relevant to you. It needs to be talking about your subject matter. It needs to be keyword relevant as well. And Google can really see the relevancy and understands what is good and what isn't good, basically, in essence. And then the SEO metrics that we've been talking about for many years now is still important. Domain authority, where the link is on the web page are still very important. So the higher domain authority, generally a better link, but keep in mind it's got to be relevant too. Getting links from the Wall Street Journal is cool and all, but they talk about everything and they talk about everyone. So it's not as relevant as probably a link that is food quality and safety and you sell restaurant parts online. And finally, usability. Do people read the articles? I think this is so lost in SEO is that we create content and check it off and say we did our job, but we want to create real engagement. We want to create real content, real people read, and I've seen huge correlation to creating really good content that real people want to read and better SEO results. And that's why I don't really think paying for links really counts for that much. I know a lot of people do sponsored links, private blog networks, which is PBNs, and that's basically you're paying for a link. And I think it doesn't help because you're basically saying, hey, I'm going to give you money if you take my article, and that person's going to say, sure, we'll take your money, and we don't care what you write. But if you earn organic links, they care more about what they write. They care more about that. And so more people are going to read that article, and it's going to mean more. And so 2 other goals of offsite content. Again, this also is just, talking about SEO, some other goals. We can drive traffic from these articles as well. And then we can build thought leadership as well. 96% of B2B buyers look for content backed by thought leaders. So we're able to really help build our brands with this offsite content. And a good example of winning the number 2 and the number 3 goal is this article that was featured on a magazine for a B2B merchant that pitched their content to the Institute of Supply Chain Management. They liked it so much that they placed it on a magazine. This has no backlinks. This does not really help from an SEO perspective, but it's a really good article that really helps build them as a thought leader and helps hopefully build their brand by people seeing them, Google searching their brand name, etc. So how do you do this? It's pretty straightforward actually. There's 2 steps. First is we need a prospect for the websites we want to build relationships with. If you remember in our target audience persona I made up earlier about the restaurant operators, here's some websites that I was able to find just by Googling. Quick service restaurant, food quality safety, total food service, chef resources. You can also do the publications like business.com, right? But I think really the niche and relevant ones are going to be the best. And then you can find these by Googling them. You can find these by using tools like BuzzSumo and Ahrefs. And then once you have them, you want to go pitch your content to them. And once you pitch your content to them, this is an example of what a really good pitch looks like. You want to basically talk about why you should write content for them. Generally, you're going to be in your company. You're the owner, the VP of marketing, the CMO, the director of business development in this case. So you're going to have some authority there just by being in the company. And you want to go find that editor, the head of content, whoever is managing the site, and pitch your content ideas to them. You want to develop that relationship. The really good publications take anywhere from maybe 2 months to 10 months to get in their content schedules. Like I think I got an article in Market Professors like a couple years ago, and they said that they weren't available to take articles until the next following year. So sometimes it can take a while. And really, you got to work your way up the ladder too. You can't just go straight for writing for Forbes and Inc. You're going to have to work your way up the publications, start small, and build from there into the bigger publications. And you can also write content for partners as well. It doesn't always have to be a publication. This is an article a B2B merchant got placed, and they sell shipping materials. You'll see the link there. And it's for a company that sells software to logistics companies and shipping companies. So you can find companies that have a similar target audience that are not competitors, and you can build relationships with them and write content together, place on each other's sites. Okay? And so now here's just some samples of content. I'm going to break down some examples of offsite content. This one's a really cool article because it's on Multi-Channel Merchant, a really good website for logistics and shipping material logistics companies and shipping companies. So if you sell shipping materials online, this is a great place to get articles featured. And you can see there the director of business development got featured there. There's a smiling face as an author bio, and it's going to help them in a multitude of ways. A, they get a high quality backlink. There's a couple high quality backlinks in here. They're able to build their brand by thought leadership, being a really good relevant site. And it got some social media shares as well. People read the article. It's a good piece of content that real people read. Here's another one. This is on Safeopedia. This is for a B2B merchant that sells safety equipment for construction sites online. So naturally, good topic cluster, safety. We want to talk about safety, right? And they got a link on Safeopedia, a really good site that talks about safety in the workplace, et cetera. And it uses their vice president of business strategy development as an outreach persona. So people who read this article are going to see that thought leader, see the company as a thought leader, and hopefully buy from them. And they also get a high quality backlink. Third example, Packaging Digest. This is for a company that sells food-grade packaging supplies. So if people basically create boxes for food-grade packaging and packaging up food, they sell the supplies for that. So naturally, their target audience is going to reside on things like Packaging Digest. And you can see their outreach persona. The marketing manager was the promoter in this instance and got the content published. The one reason I want to share this is because this doesn't talk about their product content. This talks about the 10 hottest careers in the consumer packaging industry. So it's really good content that their target audience would want to read about, and not just more so about their product content and how to use their product content, et cetera. And finally, my last example, this one is safety again, but it's for a B2B merchant that sells material for staying warmer, basically in cold environments. So if you're working at a freezer, negative 20 below degrees, they sell products for that. And this one does a good job of integrating their product content here, like winter ready carpentry boots, uses their market communication specialist as the promoter. And it's just a really good piece of content that's featured on a safety website that their target audience reads. And this is a publication that also has a conference too. So they're able to integrate with the conference and just have a better connection with them. So wrapping up, how do you measure results for this content marketing SEO? My number one way is revenue. That's what I care most about. What gets me excited and gets me wake up in the morning is to drive more revenue. Tier 2, traffic from organic search engines, keyword rankings. I like to use SEMrush. There's a lot of tools that you can use to measure keyword rankings, but where you rank at Google depends how much traffic and revenue you're going to drive. And then the tier 3 ones, social media shares. Like I shared with you, that article that got placed had a bunch of social media shares. People are sharing on social media. It's probably a good piece of content. Do people click on the backlinks? How many people search for your brand name every month? That's a really important one when you're doing a lot of offsite content. And then usability metrics. Do people come to your site more? Do they stay on longer? What's your pages per session, bounce rate, et cetera? And a cool tool I like to use, if you're wondering how do I measure results with those offsite articles, it's Coverage Book. I'm just a customer. I'm not affiliated with them. And it basically does the estimated coverage use per month, the domain authority, links from coverage, social media shares. So it's a really good way to report back on like how well our offsite content is doing outside of just, hey, we got an article published. And so key takeaways. Search engines are really important for B2B merchants. There's a lot of people searching online, and the best way to get to them is having that solid SEO foundation like we talked about, and content marketing, because we can rank for the research query and take keyword phrases, fancy word for people are searching for information. And it drives high-quality backlinks. And if you're a smaller merchant, you need to do offsite content. You need to get high-quality backlinks to build your domain authority. Just post content, it's probably not going to help because Google's not going to rank it high. And then focusing on search intent is important. Creating the best content possible means you're focusing on that search intent and giving them the information they want. If it's clear, concise information, like what is a Giggler box, shorter content. If it's how to clean a commercial kitchen, longer content. And then build a content marketing team with a process, documentation, and measurable goals, and you'll be successful with it. And I'm the most cutest golden retriever. So please connect with me. Thank you for your time. Email me if you have any questions. Come up to me after this. Happy to answer any questions I have. And it looks like I got 13 minutes for Q&A. Questions?
On the earlier slide, you ranked frame and content, backlinks 1, 2, and 3. On another slide, you ranked types of content. When you ranked those, were those at high priority or most effective or least effective? Because I've always heard backlinks should be rated number 1 for SEO.
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't know if there's really priority to that. I'd say probably the rank brand usability. I mean, they're all really, really important. Like, if you have really bad in one instance, the other two will fall, right? I think backlinks is the hardest one for e-commerce merchants because we don't create content, right? We just have product content and category content. So I think really rank brain and the content would be the two most critical ones, and then backlinks a third. But backlinks is the way to really expedite your results quickly.
But on the second slide, you listed blog posts
Offsite.
Were those also in order of priority?
Correct, yeah. Those are the easiest to make. It takes a long time to make webinars. It's a big time commitment, time suck. Podcasts are big time suck. And really the results there are not as effective as creating like blog content because you can rank for evergreen and just rank for keyword phrases indefinitely and just continue building that snowball. Definitely, white papers, podcasts are effective for B2B merchants, but from an SEO perspective, blog content, on-site content, off-site content most effective. Yeah.
In respect to that, how important is it that the blog posts have the same domain, the native domain of the website? It doesn't have a WordPress, it's got the same domain.
Definitely really important. I've seen it successfully done without the domain, but yeah, really important. You want to do either like blog.domain.com or domain.com/blog or /content. You want to definitely use your main domain, and you want to make sure it all interlinks to each other as well. If you hide your blog content, Google's going to think that you're hiding it, and they don't really care that much. So you want to have it first and foremost. On the visitor site, we actually post our most recent articles on the homepage, so we actually share the link authority there and basically kickstart our content. So just don't hide your content. Cool, thank you. Great questions.
We use Moz, but I know you didn't mention that. What is it about SEMrush and Ahrefs that you prefer?
I just like him better. Moz and even Rand Fishkin even admitted this. He's like, back in the day, like we thought SEO was just a niche, and we decided to be a general business, and it opened the door for SEMrush and Ahrefs, and they honestly just kicked open the door. And I think created superior tools when it comes to SEO, Moz is trying to come back and just focus on SEO, but I'll be honest, I don't use Moz. I hate saying that because it's a really good tool. Just SEMrush and Ahrefs just have way too much momentum right now, way too much dollars to do research and development, and just have a superior product, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could definitely get a lot more advanced with it for sure. I think that's just more so we just need to have a good general understanding of who our target audience is. But if you want to get really in depth with it, yeah, surveys are good. You can start using data, use your CRM database. You can actually create different customer personas. So if you go back to the topic clustering, you can actually create different customer groups for each different topic clustering. And then you go down a really, really long rabbit hole of like how to create the content for different audiences, different websites you're going to pitch content to. And those are, the problems of really big organizations of how to attract those different customers with different content. Does that make sense? Yeah. Cool. Any other questions? Yeah, that's a great question. So I like to use Google Analytics. You can just pull out your blog content and we've produced maybe 550 blogs and articles, and only 150 really produce any traffic. So we prune a lot. If traffic's going down, it might be a good time to go reinvigorate that blog. And a lot of times, like you produce content in 2016 and it's going down in traffic, and it might just be because, hey, we just didn't spend enough time on it, right? A good example, I wrote an article, a blog content, SEO for Magento, trying to rank for SEO for Magento. It was ranking really high back in 2015, 16, and then it's decreased rankings, and so we actually just redid the whole thing, and we threw one redirected to no domain, and so just redid the whole blog content, basically. Yeah, that's a hard question. Yeah, I guess you just got to do the best you can. I mean, what's really the big priority? Is it the e-commerce store? I've seen like 2 navigational bars, where it's like the category pages and the drop downs, and then it's like more information on top of the just information about the corporate entity and the products that they sell. Yeah, I've seen a lot of integration too, like the one company about the construction site. There's a lot of information that goes into safety equipment for construction sites. So they created individual, gigantic, really in-depth landing pages about all their different products. And then, with the kind of the buy functionality at the very tail end of it, even request for quotes. So it's really kind of situational dependent, but I suggest integrating both of them together, and you could create 2 different maybe nav bars for it. And I think it just depends on your site in general. How much information do you have on the corporate side? Is that helpful? Sorry, yeah. It's a hard question.
Yeah, we were corporate, now we're going e-commerce. We're flipping.
Yeah, definitely flip e-commerce. Yeah. Yeah, that's a tough one. If you want me to take a look at it, feel free to email me, and then I'll be more happy to take a look at it and let you know my thoughts. Cool. Any other questions? Anyone? Okay, well, feel free to email me. I'll be after the show, and thanks for coming. Enjoyed it.